national average is down as it is in DC. So, both sides kind of can manipulate the data to make it look the way they want it to look. But I think it goes without saying that regardless of the trends, if you just look at the here and now and you look at the violent crime rate in DC versus other major metropolitan centers in the United States, it is considerably higher. So there is a problem regardless.
I mean, it's almost getting to the point too in certain parts where you're going to need a shit mat to avoid them on the sidewalk because that actually happens down in DC. In case for those that don't know, like it's not like a whole fun trip when you have to like work there for a few weeks or a month at a time. Then you start to see the real nitty gritty. I've multiple times throughout my life looked at moving to DC just because it is absolutely beautiful. I can't state that enough. Like it is just mesmerizing and amazing. But there's that factor of massive crime. Like it's such a concentrated. I think that's the part that's missed. Is it's so concentrated that you really you don't have a way to escape it. So even small numbers have dire impacts on the populace.
So there's another question here, and this is one like NIMBYism, right? Okay, so there's an attitude with people sometimes if they see something they don't like, homelessness, high crime rate, they're like, get it out of my face, like get it out of here, right? And so but like where does it go? Like it doesn't just go away, it just goes somewhere else, right? And for some people who are myopic and they're thinking, they're just like, well, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. I mean, if it's it's someone else's problem, it's not my problem, so I don't care anymore, right? So this is a classic sort of logic, and Trump seems to be applying this to DC. So basically, they're going to go to Baltimore, like where are they going? Because he's talking about like we'll house them, but not in DC. They're going to have to go outside of DC. So what, like the suburbs in Virginia, like where all the CIA people live? Like where exactly are these people supposed to go? And where are they going to build these like shanty towns or homelessness buildings or whatever the hell it's called? I don't even know what it is, but he's just like adamant they are not in DC anymore. But they don't just go away; they go somewhere else. And so what does that mean? This is what the NIMBYs never want to answer. They just care about what's important to them here and now. They don't care about the ramifications or others and the impacts of what they wish to have done, how that can just create. Because you're gonna have NIMBYs wherever they go to the next place, they're gonna have NIMBYs there, and they're just just gonna have this like a hobo kind of troop that just sort of like wander the northeast. What's going on?
Yes, John, I'd like to say something about, post-COVID-19, after everybody was told to stay at home, particularly service workers, you want to talk about misinformation, fake news, or using statistics to lie, claiming incredible job growth after we shut down the entire economy is the dumbest fake news. And the fact that we sat here and ate it up and constantly lied to is very interesting. Put some links in the chat.
jail. Simple.
Okay, so jail. All right, jail it is. Then is there a capacity?
Yeah, and I think that we need to tighten up our prison department. The fact that people are able to make hooch, and the fact that people are able to, smuggle drugs in their box braid, wing extensions, that to me is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. So in theory, you're not going to be able to go into the liquor store in prison. So at some point, you're going to have a moment of clarity and sobriety for which we can hope that through giving people constructive, useful tools when they get out, they don't return back to the same bad behavior.
If they're just homeless, is that do they make homelessness a crime? In prison, homeless.
If you're camping, if you're camping on city property and you're intoxicated, absolutely that is a crime.
What if you're not intoxicated?
Very few of the homeless are, and if you remove the ones that were intoxicated, the ones that would remain somewhere in place, acting crazy as they are, put them in mental hospitals. Get them well. I don't think that we have a conversation enough about this. People keep calling addiction a disease. Well, I mean, you force people to go get COVID vaccines for a freaking flu. So why can't you force these people with this so-called disease that is socially destructive? Why don't you force them into a clinical program to address that issue?
There's no money in that. There's no profit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So it's like, would you support Trump putting a bunch of money into institutions and jails?
100%. We have been asking for this in the state of California for years now. Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that sense too that a lot of people across the spectrum and on the right too are in favor of putting public money into this sort of stuff. I don't think it's actually not that divisive. I think a lot of people would be happy to pay their taxes to build these sort of
Yeah, and maybe set up a system to where when the person eventually does make it and they reach a certain income threshold, then a certain percentage of their pay in excess of what they need to survive should be paid back to the government in some portion to actually pay for that care.
What do you think?
I would not speak so freely about that, Adam, in terms of like the issue with it. I would be happy to have my tax dollars going to that if there was like an effective method, right? But what worries me is like the $25 billion in California that's lost for homelessness, and then homelessness increases after that money's given. There's just so much money that is wasted and spent to have the outcomes that are exactly opposite as intended. And so I'm not ready to give a ton of money until it's clear where it's going to go.
But maybe like it's in Republican controlled Congress and all that stuff, like maybe there's some sort of maybe the Republicans can do it, or is it just like it doesn't matter which party, it's just the nature of the beast, the bureaucracy that they're just gonna squander it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And not only does it not matter because, government inefficiency, but look at, rates of sobriety among people with certain types of drugs, right? Like even with the best of resources and the best facilities private, there's a lot of issues that we just don't really know how to fix this. And so, until we do it, it's very hard to go in.
The
You
solution.
could just end up like a one flew over the cuckoo's nest institutions all over the place, right?
Ronald Reagan got rid of those.
No, the solution is right in your hands right now. It's called Clown House. It's called Book Club. A lot of these people sitting on the streets are lacking education. It's apps like this, people like you, who will take the time and be caring and compassion, who don't just talk endlessly and have heated conversations on Clown House. This is the modern psychiatric holding facility. This is the mental health facility we're talking about.
There we go. Well, problem solved. Yeah, I think there's no magic bullet here, right? So it's sort of,
What are you talking about? Clown House is the magic bullet. It's a mental health facility, a medical device technology corporation that gives you dopamine. What do you think all these depressed homeless people in the streets are doing? They're depressed.
But there are plenty of
their major city.
Well, that's inevitably what happens when you move these people out of DC. I mean, it solves the DC problem. It just moves the problem somewhere else. That's the problem.
I mean, is Guam off the table? Why don't we send these people to Guam? I'm just saying there needs to be an incentive to not allow these people just to slip back into the rest of the main streets of mainland American society until these people get sober. So I mean, set up a facility over in Guam, send them over there.
Yeah, but what about the Guam police?
What?
Denver.
You know, Dr. Adams.
Eastern Denver as a crime, crime, Colorado, Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
No, but see, that's the problem, Monica. Eventually, these people hitchhike, they get on the bus, and they find their way back into downtown Los Angeles. So I think that, I mean, Hawaii's on the table. We need them for tourism. Puerto Rico, I feel like, there's a very interesting history there, and there's also the necessity to preserve tourism. I feel like Guam is probably going to be the best option to set up operations to get these people sober, get them introduced back into society, and then we can fly them back to the mainland. But I feel like drastic measures need to be taken at this point for the people to actually take this seriously.
Dr. Adams, I'm sorry, but spending all that fuel to get people to Paradise Island, aka the land of snakes known as Guam, is not, the solution. It's not economically, viable.
Well, then stay in that facility and take your 12-step program. The mistakes won't get you.
Chart. Oh, one more call.
I'm just gonna make a really bad joke about how all of these ideas, possible initiatives failed to solve the homelessness crisis in the city. We can't just as a last resort, because allegedly the food supply is decreasing. Maybe we can use them as toilet bottles.
Exactly. What about bum fights, Adams? Media is a big business now. We could just do national bum fights around the country, issue licenses to independent contractors and startup entrepreneurs that want to do gladiatorial bum fights and make that into very popular YouTube channels across the whole country.
That's a very fair point. People are already monetizing off of bum fights on social media.
I imagine a future world where we're all living on a 1,000-car train, like Snowpiercer. We have no food, but we can thank the homeless because they'll be our form of protein bombs.
Let's send 1 million of the homeless in America to Gaza and clean up all the rubble. That's a big cleanup operation.
No, they're just gonna set up tents over there.
Well, not when you got Jews with rifles and hand grenades telling them to go clean up that, block over there and all that rubble over there. So I'm really looking forward to today because today could be the first break in your Clubhouse multi-5-year experience where you will actually be asked to read a book.
Can you tell what book we're reading from?
We're reading from the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. The Book of Changes or the Great Way, a mystical wisdom book of Chinese political and philosophical theory.
Now, should we do that before or after the rational discussion group?
It's your call. I mean, people are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It really doesn't matter when you decide to ask people to start reading.
I'm just wondering what might be a better time to do it. Should we read this before going into the rational
to you, because people are here till 5 in the morning, so it really doesn't make a difference to me. In a 24-hour cycle, when people are here all day long as if they don't have a job and they are homeless, it really doesn't make a difference when you decide to say, hey, everybody, guess what? We're going to start reading a book.
That's a good point. I say we do this because I don't think we're going to be reading long. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that have the material in front of them to read. So in 5-minute intervals, I'm going to guess that we'd probably do about 20 minutes worth of reading today. Sound about right?
I'd say so.
I'll budget 30 minutes, and we'll do it the 30 minutes prior to the rational discussion group. That way, after the reading, everybody can be all worked up and educated, and they can head into the rational discussion group, where people like Brooks and Anson Burlingame will help us with an antidote to the critical thinking forum, where we will have chat open.
I think I'm in.
They don't allow Canadians in there.
They don't. Yeah, they don't allow Canadian to think that the Democrats are the fault for Donald Trump winning times.
Well, I'll tell you, you would be a welcome addition to the rational discussion group, and it's pinned above, so please join. Has the National Guard started chasing anybody yet, Roger? I don't know. But Anson's here. Anson, you excited? We're going to talk about Trump in D.C. today.
First time I've ever done it, and I actually watched this whole press conference. And I've learned a lot by watching it. And I'll talk about that. I got in here like, what reading are you talking about doing for 30 minutes before?
Yeah, before that, this room will just basically turn into a reading room at 1:30 Pacific time. And John, can you tell them the book that we're reading from?
Here we're going to read from the Tao Te Ching, which is a Chinese philosopher named Lao Tzu. It deals with wisdom, a mystical approach, and it deals with psychology, governance, basically everything that's good underneath the sun.
I don't have any questions for that. It's not before the rational discussion.
Yeah, no, it'll be before that. It'll be a warm up. We're trying to do a thought experiment where we're trying to encourage people on Clubhouse to do something called reading. John,
I agree with that 100%.
John, can you remind people of this invention that came around a long time ago called books? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, prior to the advent of this medical device technology corporation known as Clownhouse, aka an automatic dopamine dispenser, people used to open what's called a BOOK, which is a book. It usually is a binded object with maybe sometimes hundreds of pieces of paper in it with printed letters, which are words which string together concepts. And inside these magic things called books, they are technically prior databases. These are storage retrieval devices where if you pick one up and you read it with comprehension and integrate it into your brain, you can become more intelligent and use that information to adapt to your circumstances, to the environment. It's called a book.
Yeah, we'll explore that a little further at 1:30 Pacific time, right here in this room, where we will open a book, we will read a book. We'll see how it goes.
So the protests have started in DC. There's live streaming of, freedom of fascism, kind of sit-ins and marches and stuff. Everything else is backlash and stuff.
John, are you sharing the PDF of the book that we're supposed to be reading?
Yeah, I looked it up last night. It's readily available. Tao Te Ching PDF. You can find it. We'll decide which one we're going to all use because there's many different translations.
Type it into the chat here so I can write it down, John.
Did you guys see that Dr. Phil, that
doesn't agree with the policies. He would have different policies, but he was being consistent to the logic of what the policies are and what they're doing, and he did defend the ICE agents for just doing their job, and that then he asked us to help reduce the chances of being doxxed and themselves and their families, etc. and so on. So it was an interesting, nuanced conversation. He was clear that he doesn't agree with the policies, though. So he's not just like 100% behind all of this stuff. He's just he's basically documenting it.
You know, he's also to some degree cooperating, and that, and just kind of looking at somebody who works so entrenched in Hollywood, that man is brave. I'm sorry. For him to do what he's doing right now, that man is very, very, very brave. He's not only sacrificing his career, but also his sons. And, you know, the whole entire family is making a sacrifice for him doing this. So I think that Dr. Phil is very, very brave.
Well, and shout out to Bill Maher again for kind of providing as the president's space for Dr. Phil in this time of him not being popular. And I think it's a testament to Bill Maher, who's pushing back against this sort of approach that you just ostracize anyone who doesn't fit the narrative, because he himself has kind of gone out and, I mean, when he went and met with Trump, right, like he was getting all sorts of hate for that. But it was a pretty interesting interview. It's worth checking out. I think who was he on with? It was Dr. Phil and someone else. I can't remember.
But see, Adam, we can't pretend like Dr. Phil was not speaking at Trump rallies. So when you talk about policy, let's refer back to some of the things that Dr. Phil has said. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I hear where you're coming from, but that man is definitely not playing it safe in Hollywood right now. A lot of his kids, both of his sons, are very much so dependent on that Hollywood check. And the fact that he is still standing 10.
Hey, what's up, Anson? Did you try to chat with me? What was this gonna say? Anson, I don't know, you're on mute. Hello?
The height of the table and his height walls are securely on the table.
Well, Nine knows what's coming next. You know, they're gonna have a bunch of women come out and say, Dr. Phil wrote me, and all this sort of bullshit. Like, we all know what's coming next.
He's been speaking out. He's been semi-famous talking points for the past year or so have been great.
Anson.
Good, there you are. How you doing, John?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
I wanted to be chat a little bit offline with you. In the first room we had, you introduced yourself as a congressman running for office and so forth. And I don't, and I'm speaking for myself, I'm not speaking for Roger. It's not intended as a campaign platform. And I understand basically what your views are and everything. But for example, you sounded like you were campaigning, and in doing so, you strayed from the topic at hand, and you started talking a lot about national debt and all good topics, and I all understand that as a campaign platform. But I hope we can stay on topic and forget the broader subjects to the extent possible and stay focused on the topic at hand. Does that make any sense to you? I'm not trying to talk down to you or anything. I'm just trying to
Sure, yeah.
find an accommodating way where possible to see if we can form a consensus of some sort or another, which is really my goal. Okay?
I would be willing to bet that the topic of Gary Baumgarten's room and thus rational discussion will be this National Guard deployment in DC.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Oh, I'm sure it will be. There's no doubt about that. Without even trying. I mean, Gary's going to go after that, and we all know what the position in that room is going to be. And you already heard me speak, I think, where I'm opposed to the use of military forces for law enforcement. But you'll see a modification of that position as well today. But I'm not trying to get out in front of the room. But there's no doubt in my mind that I hope we get some strong lefties in there. Get one of those protesters on the streets in D.C. that somebody just posted a YouTube of, and let her rip in the rational thinking room, and see if we can find some consensus. But anyway. Thanks for
Okay, sounds good.
listening.
Okay, sounds good.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
The master manipulator.
Yeah, no, I'm just yapping in with you guys. No, what a picture, Wow.
Press conference, I'm sure one of the questions, because it looks like it went on for like an hour and 30 minutes, was there one of the questions about like how soon we could see the boots on the ground here doing their thing, National Guard? Like, is it gonna surely it's like starts immediately? Like, are we gonna see this like now or?
Well, he's taking control of the Capitol Police, and so his integration can roll out. There will be states that said he can take National Guard and use other. And then you have people don't remember this, but Nancy Pelosi. This is really ridiculous. She championed for an increase in Capitol Police spending post January 6th, including to building it in California, which I'm unsure why the Capitol Police needed a headquarters in California. But she also expanded federal aid, money, recruitment, et cetera, too, because it was woefully underfunded, which I can agree. Some of the shit that they were given was like bullshit, according to the IG reports. But it just, now there's a massive wave of Capitol Police in DC and services, and the integration of the National Guard, like I said, it's going to be more of like a protection area. Like, are you going to commit fuck shit? Are you going to try to carjack somebody with a National Guard soldier sitting there watching you? Like, you're not going to get far. You're not going to get away with it, and that's pretty much what they're looking to stop. And unfortunately, this is the day and age in which we live.
I should probably say this this afternoon, but is anybody familiar with the posse comitatus act? Like, is because maybe DC's not a state, I don't know, is this going to be problematic for what he's trying to do? Because doesn't that kind of like prevent military forces from intervening in civil law enforcement authorities?
So the act doesn't apply to the National Guard.
It does if it's federalized. It doesn't if it's not federalized, but it does, and they indicated in that article that it's federalized. Because it's going to be in conjunction with the FBI and other agencies as well.
I mean, so like, it was, yeah, you're right. When it's federalized, yes, it can apply. However, there's ways to, we'll just say, like it's a short story. The Insurrection Act gives policies and opens up areas for the presidents to utilize it. Biden most notoriously used this same measure, but nobody on the left was screaming posse comitatus. They weren't going and saying, oh, we shouldn't have 25,000 troops in D.C. So the National Guard in D.C., I'm hesitant with it, but it's the National Guard. If Trump was sending in, let's say, I don't know, the 75th Regiment of the Army, then I would be more concerned. But we utilize
the National Guard all the fucking time across the world. And at times they're federalized and you don't even know it. Such as
Yeah.
really. Like we utilize these things in a massive way, and
Right.
people are just kind of like, oh no, he's just doing it to take over control of the country. And it's like, did you realize we do this shit all the time? The Coast Guard could fall under federal interdictions and utilized to clean up oil spills. That happens, but nobody complains about it then.
Yeah, well, and the thing of it is too, like I'm wondering, I mean, because DC is not technically a state either. And the whole point in that was to, I think, to prevent impingement on states' rights to govern their laws.
Correct. It's a district, and again, even DC having a mayor and city council is a new thing, and it hasn't been a great experience, except for the first mayor. I'll give him credit. The first mayor of DC was he was kind of smart, and he had some common sense in how he was trying to manage it. And there's been a couple DC mayors that have popped up, and then there's been some really shitty ones, and mostly the majority of them have been shitty, and they haven't been able to kind of bring into tow the fact that this city is like, I don't know how to put it, it's the pearl of the United States. If you're going, New York City is a big tourist, LA, San Francisco, these are all great cities. Chicago, I guess some places in Texas it's just fucking hot. Florida, Orlando, these are all tourist spots. But the pearl of the U.S. is literally DC. And if you cannot have safety for the tourists, for the people who decree your laws, the people you champion for, the lobbyist groups that you want to promote your environmental causes or your gun rights, then I'm at a loss on it. And if the mayors and the councils are like, you know what, we need to prioritize transgender rights over carjacking, I have an issue on some of the philosophies. And I mean, even the January 6th debacle should show some of the, I guess, the issues at play in DC, particularly with the council, and some of their priorities seem to be askewed. So I don't agree with Trump necessarily, but I understand the rationale behind it, because again, I think DC should be our safest city. I'm just going to stick with that. That's my line in the Senate. It should be the safest city in the entire United States.
I want to be mindful too.
So, like even before Biden, we've instituted military personnel into DC multiple times throughout its history, and it's just I often get confused because when I hear the rhetoric, because even like look at the Democrats' platform, like post January 6th. We need to have an expansive police force. We need to make sure that there's no more, attacks on the Capitol building by these far right-wing groups. You had it all draped. You had soldiers with air. Even post 9/11, we had soldiers almost on every rooftop throughout D.C., at every entranceway, armed. So D.C. in itself is where collectively we go to get a sense of our country's origins, to see where it's going for the future, to hopefully realize the past and some of the great achievements and some of the low points of it. And it has a lot of opportunities to do so. I don't understand why we have politicians in like the city council wanting to prioritize shit that is just virtue signaling instead of like, hey, I want cops to target carjackers. That's not a top priority. Like, we want to arrest these people. 200 and plus murders in a year. I want those homicides solved. I want to find out. I want to know that our citizens and people can walk the streets at night safely. We got a new pull-up.
York having their mayoral election this year?
Yeah, they just,
Yeah, the primary, right?
yeah, they narrowed down their candidates, and the front runner is the commie,
Mandami?
Mandami the commie.
Yeah, apparently he had a press conference 4 hours ago saying that he was going to be Trump's worst nightmare, and he's going to be difficult with the administration, he's going to arrest Netanyahu. Like, this man is absolutely insane.
I have to tell you, I would love to see him arrest Netanyahu, not because I think that it's a good idea. It would just be very, very interesting to see what the fallout of such a
Mayor would end up going to prison. Massively, he'd lose his office, and there would be no protection from New York State because then it becomes a federal matter. He can't actually do that, and it would be really dumb for an officer, New York City cop, to follow. And I doubt they would really want to. Could you imagine that? Like, I'm going, hey, I got 15 years in. You want me to go arrest this world leader? Are you fucking insane? No, I ain't touching it. Here's my badge. I'm not going to jail for this shit.
At that point, I feel like the protocol would be the police chief would be the one to instruct any officers to be arresting him, correct?
Well, first, the mayor can't. Like, he can't. Really, Netanyahu has qualified immunity. So, I mean, first off, I mean, you're not going to do that. Secondly, we're going to have protection details around Netanyahu, just like we do every other dignitary that is a high profile. We offer protection. So, I mean, if you think New York City police are going to go toe to toe with, say, Secret Service, good luck, have fun. That shit ain't going to go off, or even military personnel like the Marine Corps. And the Marine Corps Protection Services, to their credit, have never lost a person that they have never lost a package. They have never failed to protect their packages. And even to their death, they will go toe to toe and have never failed. So, good luck for the New York City and this mayor thinking he's going to get a bunch of cops and say, hey, let's go against this, and then you're going to see that in front of you. The most winning fucking team in all of military history who's never failed. Yeah, good luck, have fun. Let's see how that works out for you.
Can I say something about the, when we say $1 billion, I think the best way to say $1 billion is $999 million. And instead of a trillion, you say 999 billion, because, trillion or even a billion are really big numbers that I don't think people necessarily grasp, because it kind of dumbs down the amount when you say a trillion or a billion. I think keeping everything in millions is a much better way for people to kind of understand the fiscal crisis.
I'm going to tell you something here. Screaming about the debt is never going to solve it. You'll never get people to listen. No one fucking cares. Like, the general population of America just does not fucking care what it is. They really don't give a damn. They don't care if it's a trillion, billions, gazillions. You could add 40 fucking zeros after whatever number you want to put up, and they're going to just look at you like, yeah, and that's a problem. Now, if you wanted to address it, hey, we need to tackle Social Security. We need to stop it, because not only is it a
into a private. I don't want to say with who, but I was told stop campaigning and stop talking about the dead.
Good advice.
Well, you see, when people tell me not to do something, guess what opposite effect that has?
You should keep going, John. You're gonna win. You're gonna win, John. Keep going. Don't give up.
If that's the psychology, then shouldn't we tell people not to read books?
No. No, I mean, reading books, if you suffer from depression, or if you suffer from stupidity, or if you suffer from lack of income, therapeutically speaking, I've been to many psychologists, and I've had a lot of fat lesbos write down notes. I've had them give me little 3-sheeters. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. The thing that has helped me most in life are these amazing external hard drives called books.
You know what might be a fun book to read? We might even get Pima to turn a page into a book. If we were to go and look up some classic Murray Rothbard, or maybe even Lysander Spooner, we might be able to get Pima to join a stage and do a thing called reading books.
You might want to start with Cat in the Hat before graduating with that.
Remember when we were kids and they had that little cartoon explaining what a bill was? Not just a bill.
It's Miles Rock.
Yeah, I remember that. I would love for Pima to do a commercial about what is anarchy and explain it very simply to children in a cartoon format. We could play it on Saturday mornings. I think that would be amazing.
I think that should be the last person to explain anarchy to children.
I wonder if she wants to come up and explain anarchy to us like we are.
See, look at the enthusiasm.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
I'm listening for it now. I'm taking her girl out, grab her, say hi to everybody. Say, hi. Well, this is Grandma. We just got out of the shower. We're cleaning up. Don't worry, it's nice and neat in here. But wait, if you're serious, Roger, I have a children's book, voluntarist version, and I would love to do a weekly reading.
Well, I don't know if we can commit to a weekly reading of this nonsense, but we would definitely dedicate at least one room to it. Just so we can.
Heck yeah, I'll take whatever I can get. Yes.
That's what she said.
Tried to put it in the chat, but the best way to describe $100 trillion is 99 trillion, 999 billion, 999 million.
Do you think that this problem's going to get easier when we start counting quadrillions?
I think that's like the total global wealth. It's like a couple quadrillion. And if you go to usdebtclock.org, one of the numbers is hidden assets, which is at over 200 trillion. So, to say that the country is broke when we could actually, the federal government could liquidate assets in terms of like maybe $1 trillion. I mean, do you know how difficult it is to actually liquidate and sell $1 trillion worth of U.S. assets? And that would only pay off 1/37 of the funded liabilities.
Don't you have to have a buyer?
Oh, buyers will come out. Believe me, there's enough buyers out
And
there.
you know this how?
At 1 trillion, 100%. There's enough.
In its entirety. You know that
Globally,
there is
yeah.
a market for $1 trillion in U.S. property.
100%.
Not 100 trillion.
No, not 100 trillion, but $1 trillion they could liquidate and sell $1 trillion worth of U.S. assets within probably 6 months.
Chinese people that literally climb out from underneath the wood pile with like cash in hand. Like, where did all that cash come from? 100%.
It came from us, and it came from them. It came from the central banks. My friend bought a house in Los Angeles for $1 million, knocked it down, built a new house for $800,000, and sold it for $2.5 million to a 18-year-old Chinese girl. Where did she get $2.5 million? Was it her parents of the Chinese Communist Party that gave her the cash to park it overseas because they themselves are afraid of some kind of asset seizure or forfeiture?
I don't think that you're really fully admitting how much cheap Chinese shit that people purchase in America, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. So, I mean, could we maybe perhaps start there?
Adam, how much Chinese stuff do you think is in John's PTR alone?
Oh, the whole thing.
No, just the hat, the
With the
flags,
exception of the MAGA
the
hat.
shirts.
With the exception, if that's an authentic MAGA hat that was purchased,
No,
from
it's
the
a
Donald
China.
Trump website, then yes, that's definitely American made. But if it's one of those that, you find just like at a swap meet down in, places around middle America, no, that's definitely Chinese.
It's made in China.
John, you should do on your YouTube, just go around the room and figure out where all this stuff is made. And then maybe do an auction, see if you can sell the cheap Chinese shit.
Well, I have noticed that the quality of products has gone down over the years through Amazon and eBay because all of this mass-produced Chinese shit, in China, in the factories, they eventually said, you know what, we can make this even dumber, simpler, and less costly to us. Let's downgrade the quality of this shit even more because the Americans will just keep buying it regardless.
Not only calibrating, but the dangerous chemicals, they don't have regulations like we do. And that's pretty
Oh, like
dangerous.
we do, huh? Like the COVID-19 vaccines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, because putting a piece of fabric on your skin is a lot less dangerous than injecting an experimental cocktail into your bloodstream.
Why is nobody talking about that CDC shooting on this app?
Why aren't people
Was
talking?
was the suspect the wrong color?
No, I don't think that's what it is. I think that given the grievances of the suspect and the average person on this app that supported the vaccine, I just don't think that they want to open up that can of worms.
Let me ask you a question. Why was the Fort Campbell shooter? Why did he have a beard, and why did the guy who tackled him also have a beard? Mind you, both soldiers on an active duty military base with beards. I never heard of that. You ever heard of it?
It could be a new rule if they were people of color. I know that the Oakland Police Department made an exception, even though they had a 100+ year rule about you had to be clean shaven. They got exemptions for people of color because they get razor bumps. So maybe it's something like that.
No, it's exactly what it is.
Is it the razor bump?
It is. Somebody told me on a YouTube channel, like it's called skin chiclet or whatever. You get a medical exemption because your skin breaks out and you shit in your blood. But I don't understand. Why don't you just use an electric shave?
Look, there are clean-shaven black men that don't have razor bumps. This should not be that hard to figure out.
This is a new topic for you, Adams.
Maybe talking to the people that issue. English only. Rule number 10. Sorry, Stan. it says, I am very good at calculation.
This guy's supposed to be.
Have you ever seen The Dark Knight? Do you remember the get burned on cash? Do you remember the Asian guy? Yeah. And the stereotype about how Asians are supposed to be good at math. Do you remember that? Yeah, the accountant. Yeah. He said, I'm very good at calculation. It was probably the most racist thing I ever said to him.
I mean, in reality, it is every time it has problems, the Fed will inject like liquidity into the system. So there will never be a default, so-called default in the debt. But the problem is that when you inject like a few years ago, 2020, right? You inject an enormous amount of liquidity into the system, so the purchasing power is going to be decreased. That reflected in the inflation. So going forward, we will see more and more the injection of liquidity. The stock market is going to be going up, and purchasing power is going down. And then the fact that the stock market is going up is you can see that in a different angle. You have less purchasing power of the stocks. That also means that the same amount of money you can buy less stocks.
Stan, don't you think the U.S. Congress can take action and prevent the U.S. government from doing deficit spending by limiting them from raising the debt ceiling?
It has been raised like 100 times or more.
I know, but what I'm saying is you think that it's just going to keep going on forever. Meanwhile, there are Congress people and senators who are actively resisting the raising of the debt ceiling and telling Congress and the government to get its fiscal prudence into action.
Every time it gets raised, the debt ceiling, right? I think there's no like one time that eventually you keep the ceiling at a certain level, and then the spending gets cut, right? It always gets raised up.
So,
Wow. Stan, are you going to stick around for the book reading that we're going to do today? We're going to read Chinese philosophy in here. Is that something that might interest you?
Wow. Okay, what was that book? And what's the name of it?
John, tell.
the Tao Te Ching, or the Book of Changes, or the Great Way by Lao Tzu.
Oh, I read something like similar recently. Somewhere like interpreting that book.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really fun exercise to get Americans that don't typically read to pick up a book and of all things to read a Chinese philosopher. I think this is going to be a very good experiment.
Maybe interesting. My you come over anytime, so I'm not sure how can I stay. But I'll try.
What do they ration your internet there?
No, I'm using Starlink, but my generator does not get enough power to the battery. I am using the battery to power the Starlink, but it's very difficult. I'm in the middle of the nowhere.
Couldn't you hook it up to like an exercise bike and just pedal?
Stan, what do you think about, if you look at the foreign holders of U.S. debt, like China, it's $2 trillion or 1.6 trillion, something like that. Like, at what point, when the U.S. debt gets to $50 trillion does some politician, whether it's a president, says, you know what, the Chinese are doing currency manipulation. You know what we're going to do? We are going to dissolve the debt that they claim they owe us because they're stealing it in the back end from us. So, at what point does global investors, aka other countries and other major banking institutions, start losing faith and confidence in the United States because they feel that their investments are essentially being stolen by runaway, rampant inflationary spending?
If you look at the holdings of all central banks, the trend is going down. The trend of holding assets is going down, even though the interest rate are high, like around 5%, 4%, 8%. But especially China, it stopped. The top of the holding, I think it's around like 2014 or something. The Chinese leaders be aware of the problem you mentioned like almost 10 years ago. So they switched the spending from buying debts into one Belt and Road initiative. So spending like the strategy is to spending those US dollars into like projects all over the world, and then the proceeds, right? The proceeds from these projects go go like in line with the inflation. So they own like all these projects, all these companies. They pay the payments would be the bonuses would be in line with the purchasing power of that time, not in terms of like you know what I mean, right? We found the cure for insomnia. Thank you.
I liked it. Stan seems more.
Stan, what would a Shiba Inu do if the Shiba Inu was the president of the United States? What would a Shiba Inu do for its people?
Even to the same as current president, you listen to the lobbying groups, the Jews.
The Jews?
I mean, you would listen to these lobbying groups, like follow whatever the order is.
Oh, I see. It would just want to go out, you know, take a poop, have its poop picked up, get its meal, you know, get a cozy little bed, and, you know, just dream of other little cute Shiba Inus instead of taking orders from the Jews.
You know, maybe that funny.
Do you think other lobbying groups like the Iranian lobbyists or the Russian lobbyists or the Syrian lobbyists or Chinese lobbyists, you know, why do you think the Americans are always taking orders from what you call the Jews?
I'm not sure the true reason is a true answer actually. I'm sorry, but I mean the lobbying groups are you know I read a book about like the call how I don't know how to pronounce the KOCH, the coach call
understand if you, I asked Grok the other day, you know, what would be 10 ways to essentially increase revenue and pay down the debt? What do you think AI told you?
I heard the first one is the harvesting of like ultra space when readers. I don't think that's feasible.
Well, that's what AI told me. Then I asked for the contrarian positions, and it gave me a whole different set of positions, which are really the normal positions, like fossil fuel extraction at a more cost-efficient method, things like that.
Okay, interesting. All these are linear. I mean, these are linear solutions. The debts is an exponential growth in an exponential way. So you cannot solve a exponential growth problem with a linear growth problem.
Got it.
That's not true.
You know, I think Einstein is quoted as saying the greatest scientific revelation of all time is compound interest.
Right, for example, the fossil fuel, right, the exploration, you can only like carry all these projects linearly. You cannot like do it exponentially.
See, the irony is, even if there is a debt jubilee, and we just pretend that, you know, the debt is gone, so to say, you know, it still won't show up in the real economy because the inflation is already set. So, I mean, you can call it a debt jubilee, but in reality, all you're doing is just deleting words. You're not actually deleting the financial landscape of, you know, 330 million Americans and how all the previous spending, you know, is reflected in that population.
I'm not sure. What was the question?
It's not really a question, but people predict that there will be something called a debt jubilee, where government debt will be essentially there will be a meeting of the minds between lenders, creditors, and debtors like the U.S. And you know, the U.S. will no longer owe China 1.6 trillion. Instead, they'll owe them 300 billion. You know, and other countries will also have to take pennies on the dollar. But you know, the truth is, it's like setting a chessboard and then saying, you know, new game. But everybody on that chessboard has what's called stuff, and either they spent that money and they accumulated stuff, or you know, let's just say that money disappears. I'm just saying that there's not a speck out of place in the whole universe. A speck of dust.
Given the ownership percentage from China, it's not worthy to implement your plan you set. You cause like a bigger damage. The return, the reward of that plan is not worthy given the percentage of China.
Well, I'm just interested to see what Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching has to say about it, because you know, if our greatest enemy is China and they're putting out all the world's weapons of mass destruction and causing all kinds of chaos throughout the globe, I wonder if we can use Chinese philosophy to defeat the Chinese, because it's possible that the Chinese have forgotten their fundamental roots. If we were to rip their roots out and put them in our tea and drink their roots, perhaps we could actually win this game.
Okay, that's a very interesting thought, and I think if you find like enough philosophers in Chinese, I think you maybe you'll find solutions. But this one is not going to help. This one is advocating doing nothing. So just let everything depend on its own. Do not do anything to impact
scripts, you might call them, and we the hardware. And when you run the software through the hardware, if it's a really good program, perhaps there could be some economic gains as a result of running these extremely advanced AI software programs called books.
I think AI is one aspect the US can stay on top. I read the news of Saudi Arabia. They funded the infrastructure building of the
sorry, I had to make a stop off at the store. Are we still reading a book today? Yeah.
Yo,
Hey, how's it going?
are you were recording?
I'm recording, yeah. I'm sitting in front of my computers, my cell phones.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, same situation. Except I moved to Skokie.
Oh, so did you got yourself an apartment?
No. Oh, no.
Oh my god. Well, why don't you just get yourself a new apartment? Just get yourself a
Yeah,
studio.
that's the plan.
Yeah, get a studio. I mean, if you, yeah.
That's probably what I'm gonna do. But thanks for being there. And then the antidote thing is pretty easy. It's not like it's like there's WinRed and antidote are the two services for Republicans. And it like makes it where people can donate to you online, and it puts you on like a directory of all like the Congress candidates. So I think I randomly got $1,500 from just some person that donated every Congress candidate. Yeah, so you should definitely sign up for that.
It says here description shown on donor bank statement. Statement descriptor.
Oh, and you can make several pages on antidote too. Where like they basically like you know how like they'll have like stupid campaigns where they'll be like 24 for 20 for $26 for 26. You basically can like make your own unique pages.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So it's pretty easy.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to talk to you about this. I know you probably don't want to be recorded, but, I mean, yeah, let me know. I mean, if you're in Skokie, come over to my house.
Okay, I'll keep you posted.
Well, anyways, I mean, dude, I'm sorry to hear that, this has happened, but I mean, it's not that uncommon. I mean, I got engaged and ended the engagement, prior to actually hearing it. Huh?
Did I talk on the phone with her?
The girl that I was engaged to 10 years ago?
Yeah.
No. Why would you talk to her?
I was in a three-way phone call with you and some girl that you said that you were
Oh,
engaged to.
no. I was not engaged to that chick. That's just a chick from Birthright.
No, you said you guys got married.
We crashed the wedding in Jerusalem.
Yeah, I thought you guys got married. She said you guys got like core married and old or something.
But yeah, I mean, the best way to look at it is there's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole universe.
100%. If it happens, God wants it to happen. But I'll keep you posted. And I think Aaron's running for mayor governor legit now. What's up, man? You alright?
I like his responses. People are like, he's such a bitch. He won't, respond to anything. It's like such a ridiculous time.
Dao can be is empty yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. The more you talk of it, the less you understand. Hold on to the center. 6. The Tao is called the Great Mother. Empty, yet inexhaustible. It gives birth to infinite worlds. It is always present within you. You can use it any way you want. 7. The Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born, thus it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself, thus it is present for all beings. The Master stays behind. That is why she is ahead. She is detached from all things. That is why she is one with them. Because she has let go of herself, she is perfectly fulfilled. 8. The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It is content with the low places that people disdain. Thus, it is like the Tao. Indwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. 9. Fill your bowl to the brim, and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife, and it will blunt. Chase after money and security, and your heart will never unclench. Care about people's approval, and you will be their prisoner. Do your work, then step back. The only path to serenity. 10. Can you coax your mind from its wandering and keep to the original oneness? Can you let your body become supple as a newborn child's? Can you cleanse your inner vision until you see nothing but the light? Can you love people and lead them without imposing your will? Can you deal with the most vital matters by letting events take their course? Can you step back from your own mind and thus understand all things? Giving birth and nourishing. Having without possessing. Acting with no expectations. Leading and not trying to control. This is the supreme virtue. Sounds deafen the ear. Flavors numb the taste. Thoughts weaken the mind. Desires wither the heart. The master observes the world, but trusts his inner vision. He allows things to come and go. His heart is open as the sky. 13. Success is as dangerous as failure. Hope is as hollow as fear. What does it mean that success is as dangerous as failure? Whether you go up the ladder or down it, your position is shaky. When you stand with your 2 feet on the ground, you will always keep your balance. What does it mean that hope is as hollow as fear? Hope and fear are both phantoms that arise from thinking of the self. When we don't see the self as self, what do we have to fear? See the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself. Then you can care for all things. 14. Look, and it can't be seen. Listen, and it can't be heard. Reach, and it can't be grasped. Above, it isn't bright. Below, it isn't dark. Seamless, unnameable, it returns to the realm of nothing. Form that includes all forms. Image without an image. Subtle, beyond all conception. Approach it, and there is no beginning. Follow it, and there is no end. You can't know it, but you can be it. At ease in your own life. Just realize master governs. The people are hardly aware that he exists. Next best is a leader who is loved. Next, one who is feared. The worst is one who is despised. If you don't trust the people, you make them untrustworthy. The master doesn't talk, he acts. When his work is done, the people say, "Amazing. We did it. All by ourselves." 18. When the great Tao is forgotten, goodness and piety appear. When the body's intelligence declines, cleverness and knowledge step forth. When there is no peace in the family, filial piety begins. When the country falls into chaos, patriotism is born. 19. Throw away holiness and wisdom, and people will be 100 times happier. Throw away morality and justice, and people will do the right thing. Throw away industry and profit, and there won't be any thieves. If these three aren't enough, just stay at the center of the circle and let all things take their course. 20. Stop thinking and end your problems. What difference between yes and no? What difference between success and failure? Must you value what others value? Avoid what others avoid? How ridiculous. Other people are excited, as though they were at a parade. I alone don't care. I alone am expressionless, like an infant before it can smile. Other people have what they need. I alone possess nothing. I alone drift about, like someone without a home. I am like an idiot, my mind is so empty. Other people are bright. I alone am dark. Other people are sharp.
concept revolves around violence, intimidation, and political, and what I would say is like religious, goals in this case.
Stick to the definition. So, sorry, just have to say everyone. So, pretty much unlawful acts of violence against populations in an attempt to intimidate them into a specific policy or to concede to a specific agenda. So that is what terrorism is. Who's been conducting terrorism in that sense for over like what since even before the early 1900s, pretty much. That's been the West. You could describe the West in everything. For example,
personnel fighting military personnel, which is exactly what's going on.
That's, so if you're looking at Torah's perspective on eye for an eye, it doesn't mean you take my eye, I take your eye. You stab my brother, I stab your brother. That's not what it means. It means I should make you feel the same pain, whether it be monetary or mental, like anguish, of the same pain I felt because you took my eye. We're not barbaric and stupid where we believe that you too.
Obviously there could be compensation. No one is saying no. You can't have any other forms of compensation or equalization. No.
I agree with you, but that doesn't mean you can't kill for an eye for an eye. No, but that's what I think a lot of people misinterpret. They're like, you killed my brother, I'm gonna kill your brother. That's not what
It is valid, and maybe it is valid if no compensation is provided or no judgment takes place. Actually, that is valid.
According to the Torah, we have your own interpretation.
How do you know that? How do you know?
Well, because I know Torah, you know.
I'm pretty sure. I know Torah too, but I know Torah too.
I mean, if you're saying that it's allowed to kill a person because he took taken an ill person because he took your right off, you're completely wrong. There's no.
Until you can provide evidence. Absolutely.
That's how we're discussing it.
Alright, go for it.
Someone has a full discussion on eye for an eye. He's right.
It discusses the judgments, right? The judgments of the court that needs to be applied. It has nothing to do with doing physical demonstration.
If a court is available to judge, but if someone isn't, their judgment isn't taking place, this person exacted a toll on you, and he's just loose out there, do you not have a right to go and exact a punishment equal in account? Okay, who says who?
Absolutely nothing.
No, that's the thing.
You guys can't reference who you're talking about.
Like a parent research.
Yeah, I wanted to say something like plenty of so like compensation for suffering, like it might explain like anger or resentment, but it doesn't justify terrorism, right? If not getting justice or compensation means like terrorism becomes like valid, then anyone that felt wronged could do that, right? And the whole world would become chaotic. There's loads of communities that have suffered without turning to terrorism. They've fought back when it like let me finish. They fought back basically. They rebuilt without targeting civilians. That's number one, right? And the difference between terrorism is, I don't know if you know, terrorism is about intentionally killing people who are non-combatants, right? And that's never justified by lack of compensation. So wanting justice is understandable, but like deliberately murdering innocent people is not.
Well, it's definitely not justice. That's for sure. That's one thing that it's definitely not justice. The fact that you're
It's an eye for an eye.
the fact that you're suffering doesn't give you a right to make other people unalived. That doesn't give you any such rights.
And I think that's where the problem is, and that's why the title is what it is because people misinterpret the Quran, and then they also interpret it correct, where the gentleman the other day said that the Quran is a book of peace. But we pulled out, I think there was like 9 or 10 surahs, that was just the beginning of the Quran. Acting out,
I would not be throwing rocks. I would not be throwing rocks with my house.
I didn't sit down.
You're not on a highway, Mikhail. Bro, save your rocks for the highway attacks, Mikhail.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You provided any scripture.
You don't need to provide it. It's something. It's something.
No, it's not obvious.
Yeah, you should know anything about it. It is obvious. It is. It is obvious.
Killing civilians in another country. Buddy, relax. Put your knickers in a twist, yeah? Killing civilians, I'll pick you out of the room, shut the fuck up. Killing civilians in another country, shut the fuck up. Killing civilians, listen, use your ears for once. Killing civilians, use your ears. You're dumb, no one agrees with you, use your ears, that's what you never learn. You're not listening. Killing civilians in another country, bombing buses, attacking markets, that's not justice, that's indiscriminate revenge. That's why most legal systems and moral codes reject collective punishment. It's not eye for an
In the
eye.
United States, you see NATO, and literally that's what they did. Target markets, target civilians. Most of the casualties from these wars are civilians. That's what it is. And not only that, we have these acts documented. We know what happened in Iraq, in Baghdad, in a market. We know what happened when Blackwater went in there and wiped out the market. We've seen what the Americans have done in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and whether that's dismembering Afghanis or even pursuing innocent Afghanis and putting them in black cells around the world, in Eastern Europe or in Egypt or something. We've seen all this, and people have been found guilty, and a lot of people have gotten away with the absolute Satanism that was committed in these acts. What do you America literally Agent Orange alone on Vietnamese villagers. That is a form of terrorism that has been unmet till today. The firebombing of every Japanese city and then dropping 2 nukes on the last 2. Like there's so many examples of just America alone conducting acts. Terrorism would be too light of a word. Who do you think Satanism?
I got a question for you. Would you say that even though the goal, would you say that NATO, for example, stating that the objectives is to hit like military targets, the civilian deaths are unintended, is the same as like terrorism? Would you say it equals to the same thing? Would you say that's
America and a lot of these countries, and even all the axis of.
So it's the same as strapping a bomb to your chest in a market. It's the same as is it the same as strapping a bomb to your chest in a market and flying a plane into a building? I think you're a bit deleted, my man.
No, I think when you drop like a ton bomb on a civilian area, yeah, absolutely, that's worse than someone. Yes, absolutely, that's worse.
Right.
In any magnitude of the sense, it's worse.
So what you're saying basically, if a person from a specific country, a European country, commits a terrorist act in Europe, then this European country is legally allowed to actually bomb the shit out of his country, right? No.
Who is the one who started? Yes, it is the West, not the Muslim world.
I'm not really curious.
These acts, listen.
You're just comparing. You're saying retaliation.
Quote unquote terrorism that you want to
You're
call
saying
it.
retaliation.
All of them came as a consequence following
Is
9/11.
retaliation justice?
Retaliation is retaliation.
Is it justified?
It can be, yes.
Right. So it can be justified to just bomb the hell out of every European country that had the terrorists come out of it, right?
Again, the act, the unjust act was initiated by the West.
I don't care who initiated it.
So it is absolutely valid to respond to unjust acts conducted against you. If conducted against you in a specific nature, if an act by a hostile nation is conducted against you in a specific nature, you are allowed to respond back within that specific nature.
Okay, so you're justifying terrorism, therefore you should justify any act.
I'm trying to explain to you the phenomenon.
Against the terrorism, right?
I don't believe terrorism should exist, but I believe the response of terrorism can be terrorism, and this is a valid method.
It is a valid, right? It is a valid response.
Yeah, because the West does it all the time. Because the West does it all the time.
I think it's.
So it is a valid response from the West, right?
So are you validating Israel's response after October 7th,
The West
Mikhail?
does not respond.
Are you then, because you're saying retaliation, are you actually saying that Israel retaliated in the sense of an eye for an eye after October 7th? Because I feel like you're alluding to that point, Mikhail.
You're making the same mistake Bells is making. Again, if you want to talk about the cycle of violence and who initiated the cycle of violence, I have no problem with doing that. However, the whole point is that it is valid for someone to respond against terrorism with terrorism. And this is done in many ways, especially by the West or even by many state actors or non-state actors. This is done all over the world. And this is one of the most ancient rules in humanity, an eye for an eye. And that's how it is.
So it is valid. Okay, so you're
So after,
I
so
don't
after,
know,
so
though,
after
like, you might
October
have a
7th.
problem hearing or something. I think you have a problem.
So wait, but wouldn't an eye for an eye like actually justify the fact that the Israelis are trying to get the hostages back because they're still being held?
They are doing what they need to do because they are Zionists, and Zionism is a specific project that has its necessities and principles. But if you want to
Well, I
ask
mean,
why October
they're actually just
7th
caring for their citizens. They're trying to bring their citizens back alive.
No. If they wanted to, if they cared about them, they would have agreed to a hostage exchange a long time ago.
Yeah,
They don't care.
But
he's saying
the agenda.
he's saying the West. He's saying
Zionist.
he's saying the West. He's saying the West acted unjustly, so terrorism is valid. And then he's saying terrorism is valid because the West acted unjustly. He's basically.
I was just speaking up. My brother, he started texting
I was thinking about it.
They have rocks, right? It's just sand.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Thousands of tourists, they grinded up into a sand.
Both the beaches were like small. Like you do not get the space you get in at least the ones that I'm used to in America.
Yeah. What are your Jones Beach?
I'm a Christian.
No, I'm away from beaches. I think growing up, my grandfather lived in Rhode Island, so I would go to Cape Cod sometimes.
You just got in trouble in Cape Cod. Someone famous. Is it Alan Dershowitz?
Probably.
He got yelled at.
That was Nantucket.
Nantucket.
I met Alan Dershowitz once at a private residence in Beverly Hills, and he was talking a lot about General Petraeus, and so I had set up a camera on the fireplace mantle with a 200 gigabyte memory card or whatever, and he's like, I hope nobody's recording this, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, should I say something? So I proceeded to record Alan Dershowitz talking about all kinds of interesting things with regards to General Petraeus. And I still have the footage actually, but it's nothing really that interesting.
What they call it, General Petraeus.
Yeah, that dope. He was cheating on his wife with some journalist.
Yes.
That's fair. Okay.
Except, how's Italy treating you? Are you enjoying your vacation?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like going over new places. Is that a deal for an announcement dinner together, actually?
How do you travel? Did you rent a bus or something?
I think his wife is helped.
Well, I'm going to Tel Aviv soon to go stay at the 360-degree hostel on the beach to hopefully find a wife, a beautiful Jewish princess who can become my number one and inherit all my riches and government subsidies.
Okay. Don't forget to drop my name. We can talk to her afterwards.
Whoever this lucky woman is, she gets free dental health care. She gets free hospitalization, all of her health insurance. She gets $2 million. She gets a 15-room, 5-bath house. She's going to be the luckiest shidducha in Tel Aviv.
$2 million. Where do you get $2 million?
That's what my net worth will be when I finally broke.
Someone's been investing in their Roth IRA. Maximum investment per year.
Do you think there's anybody?
What is it? What is 5K? What is it?
Last contribution.
I was gonna ask. Do you think there's anybody who's ever blown up regular traditional or the Roth IRA by day trading it. Not destroyed it. I'm saying like they made a huge amount of money, gambling, day trading, buying options. Wait, can you trade options in your Roth? Because if you can blow that account out, can't you technically withdraw it tax free?
It doesn't work that way.
Well, I mean, you can withdraw from your Roth at the correct age. I'm not saying you would do an early withdrawal, otherwise you have to pay the tax on it.
It's like the Beatles said, baby, you're a rich man.
You know why they're never going to fully go digital for taxation? It's the same reason they never went digital for the COVID-19 vaccines.
Why is that?
Meaning that there's no back end to the IRS, there's no back end to the COVID-19 vaccines. It's all done on paper. It's a confession statement.
Hey, what are you, some kind of sovereign citizen?
No, I'm accurately describing the situation. They take your tax return and they put it in an underground cave in Kansas City, Missouri. I've been to it.
Like what Elon was talking about with Social Security?
Well, he was talking about the federal retirement vault in that underground bunker or whatever, where it's all done on paper. So the founder of Airbnb is digitizing the federal retirement program, so it's no longer all done on paper. It's done digital. Are you guys upset that Benjamin Netanyahu is going to take over the Gaza Strip and rule it? Win that. He's going to conquer the Gaza Strip militarily and take it over.
Nora told me this morning, she said, I feel a chip out coming. I feel it. Oh, I hope that there isn't a full breakout.
What?
A chip in
You are 2.0.
I feel the chip in it coming.
Oh, you mean you're going to have a mental health breakdown when they do the final conquest?
My aunt was so funny to me yesterday. She was like, it's okay, Nora. It's for you to react like that. People who aren't reacting like that are the ones that aren't normal.
That's a nice way to frame it.
Yeah, she's like, we accept you. We accept you no matter what, as long as you don't just say I'm gay. That we don't accept.
Oh wow, you should come out as trans.
Never.
Tell her that you converted to Catholicism.
Actually, her Christian aunts were from Colombia. Were there yesterday. They only speak Spanish. They were so sweet. And then my aunt thought I could speak Spanish, so she was telling me to say stuff in Spanish, and I said her wrong. She was like telling me to say to them that that's my brother, and I said evil. I said I'm your mother. She's like, never mind.
You know, the war will probably be over by next June, so if you do want to go to Tel Aviv and participate in the LGBTQ parade, like, you could let your mother know that you're not only are you not a racist, but you're also not a bigot.
It was not my mother, it's my aunt. She's actually, she breastfed me when I was a child, so she's actually she's also my mother too, because in Islam you get breastfed.
What?
Yeah, like when you
Your
breastfeed
aunt
a
was
child.
breastfeeding you?
Yeah, she breastfed me one time.
Jesus.
What's it called? My cousin is getting married in Palestine next year, so I hope I can go, but I don't know if they'll let me.
Wait, are you sure that that's your aunt? Are you sure it's just not like another mother? Like, because like, how many moms do you have?
I actually consider her my mother more than my mother.
Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you this line. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad system, because I've been in Islamic houses where they do have multiple wives, cooking, cleaning. Like, it's like having a lot of employees working in your house. It's kind of
She's actually, my aunt is actually the daughter of the second wife.
Oh my God! Not only is that your weekend, and she's like, "Yeah, my husband will be here in just a moment," or my fiance, and she's like, "FYI, my fiance is also my second cousin." I was like, "You're marrying your second cousin?" I was like,
There we go.
Is she white?
"She is white. She looked like she was poor white trash, but you know, she had one of those nose rings that go in the base or the bottom of the nose. That's like the biggest indicator of like an insane liberal lesbian."
The ball ring?
Yeah, the bull ring.
Do you like that? Because I don't understand how people use
No, I do not like that. I think it looks
Do you find
great.
it attractive, Diego?
Well, I did date a girl that had that one, but they have a very gnarly death scene about Final Destination Bloodlines with a guy that had a bunch of piercings. It's really funny when they turn on the MRI and it just keeps going higher and higher, and the guy's getting sucked in there. And at first it's just an earring and a nostril ring, and then eventually it's the one on his cock, and it's getting sucked in there. Oh yeah.
You know, an African American gentleman, he recently died in an MRI machine. Did you see that? He had a big chain on and it killed him.
I heard about that.
Not that great.
I don't know.
Can't
You went into
believe,
the Matrix, Diego.
can't believe they couldn't shut it down. You know, it's a fucking crazy way to die.
John, you sound like you've been crying.
No, maybe I'm just like kind of nasally right now.
Have you ever experienced what's on
What, Diego? You're in the Matrix.
You're in the Matrix, Diego. You know, we're doing a reading room today. If anybody here wants to break the vicious circle of clown house of just talking endlessly and you know, having heated conversations about nothing, you can come to a room today where we will.
I actually learned today from Diego that scribing, like writing a book word for word, is a good way to learn how to. He's a priest, but I thought it how to write. So I'm gonna start doing that with my spare time.
You're going to talk to yourself, talking to an AI chatbot, recording your words.
No, I'm gonna type it. I'm gonna type
Oh, that's not usual.
Wait, Diego, is it writing it? Like writing on paper, or is it typing it?
Writing.
I got right.
Oh, so it's not what you just said. So you're not going to scribe, you're actually going to write.
Well, scribing is writing, right?
No, I mean, that's talk to text. You could call that writing.
No, they didn't have this. Anyways, Diego, what were you saying? You were in the Matrix.
Give me 1 second. I was just saying that, oh, I forgot.
I'm sure it was a job. I was willing to hear it anyways.
I forgot.
But anyways, as I was saying, we will be reading the Tao Te Ching today in 5-minute increments. If you've never read the Tao Te Ching or read a book in a while, and you want to read a book here in Clown House instead of listening to people talk all the time and talk about nothing and have heated discussions about Israel, Palestine, racism, gender, abortion, whatever, you can come to a room today and break the addiction of sitting here and talking about nothing.
The Tao is where the original Tao is.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because they preach like female type.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess they do. David doesn't have to worry about that. I don't think David can agree to Jack Lowe.
Oh, shit. Shit, David.
David, did you sterilize yourself with vodka?
With all due respect, I'm not going to answer that question.
started the season when it came out.
I see my therapist in 2 weeks. I'll bring it up with my therapist. I have 2 master's degree. I'm a graduate of the. What school did he go to? Nobody even knows.
He has 2 PhDs.
What's the name of that TV show that he has in his PTR? Because I think I remember that show. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day. You know, Clown House is eventually going away, so you'll have to figure out what to do with yourselves.
What makes you say that?
Let's just watch you on YouTube.
Yeah, feel free to tune in anytime.
What makes you say it's going away?
Well, nobody could possibly sit here and waste their lives talking about nothing forever, right?
I mean, we've done it for 5 years.
We're on a roll, baby. Hey, how's it going? Barbecue past here? Does this sound right? 199 Continental Boulevard. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Legally, what up?
Maybe it was better that you didn't take the question because you were able to sit up.
Yeah, and then I'll get, yeah, I'll connect, I'd rather, because we can't hear home now. You're right.
Also, when you can come back, it'll be easier.
Did you shit in a car like you're in the drive or what?
Yeah, he did.
Hey, my friend, how's it going over there? How are you doing? Princess, when you see that innocent victim in that terror tunnel starving to death, being axed to dig his own grave by his Palestinian Hamas Islamic terrorist handlers, how does that make you feel?
Does it make you feel when you see the Palestinians being killed indiscriminately, being starved, and then pretending that none of it is happening?
I asked you first, how does it make you feel?
That's my answer to you.
I asked you how you feel.
That's my answer to you. I feel that you all just don't care. So you expect the Palestinians not to care about others because you don't care.
So you project your lack of caring onto me. So I ask you again, how does it make you feel when you see that PTR? You know, this is part of the problem with people
Rico
today.
can't even say acts. Like,
Most people are completely incapable
and she's so
of
white.
actually.
That's how you know you're a white man when you cannot pronounce the mispronunciation of that.
Okay, so I'll ask you again, and please actually answer the question as opposed to reverse engineering it.
John, listen. Unlike the Jewish people and the Israelis and the Zionists, or not all the Israelis, and some are protesting against it, that I see on social media where they pretty much only believe that the hostages are starving and that everything else is Hollywood or Gaza. I feel sad for him. The reason why he is the way he is because there is no food coming in to all the areas.
doesn't matter. What matters is how much cash inflow do I get.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not very Christian.
Well, look at the Jew telling us Christian and what's Christ like. Look at the Jew, look at the Yiddish guy telling us what we can be like.
Rabbi, do you realize?
How about you guys collectively, individually and collectively eat my ass? Sure.
We hope that this is only a troll with Rabbi, but you never see the Christian side of Rabbi, if you realize.
How about
An anomaly where you're not going to. Oh, no. It's like really true. There's a lot of trends
I heard you have
pushing
hair
for
growing
men to
through your canals.
remove, and pushing for legislators to redefine when child support should be appropriate. And judges are starting to say 50-50 custody at the start unless you can prove to me why one parent is unfit.
Diego definitely doesn't have the
And if that parent is unfit, then we'll discuss what sort of support
I mean,
mechanism.
it's so amazing. You guys didn't care about the children of Yemen, 70% of which have cholera. You guys didn't care about those, right? Yet now you care. You act like you care about Palestinian children and Jewish children. Well, fuck you. Fuck you and those children again.
Rabbi, does the Orthodox Church believe that Jews worship the same God?
Of course not.
Okay, just wanted to confirm.
I do want to concur with the sentiment that Rabbi has, because honestly, this room is a waste of time. You are all primarily a waste of time, and Rabbi has it right with that regards.
You guys are with it's unbelievable. Right. Instead of taking advantage of market movements today, all they talk about is gay shit and nobody cares. And they've talked about it for like years now. This October the 7th, which was an amazing day, don't get me wrong, but like you guys don't get what you're doing. I really don't.
You're wasting the damn time.
Like I'm gonna come in paragliding into your ass.
See, let me just tell you what a priority is, because I don't think people in this room actually know anymore what a priority is.
I've been talking about Grindr for ages, and today it went up 10%. Do you guys see
Right,
that?
can you tell me what a
Really?
priority probability is?
Well, that's the priority. Is Grindr, GRND. I've been telling you that
It went up 10%?
It went up 10 points. Yes, it did.
That's right.
That's what matters.
That's
I
right.
would also be salty if why are you making money? I want to be the one who makes the money. Why are you? So I understand why you guys are salty and choose to talk about gay shit.
It's like a grinder.
Yeah. Look who's gay now. You're missing out on all the facts. I mean, these are the SPC.
Holy shit, it really is, huh?
I told you.
Damn, it's a 3.39 billion. Can you believe
It
this
looks like
thing?
it's maybe forming like an inverse head and shoulders. Like it's like bumping out of the head now.
I'd rather go with Johnson & Johnson, but it doesn't matter. I've been telling
That's
you.
right.
Look at that damn stock.
Yeah, I like Grindr. I think I'm gonna buy some.
It does about 400 million a year in gay revenue. It's totally overvalued, though.
What makes you say that?
Listen what? See, that's it. This nigga decided it's overvalued. They didn't do no discounting cash flow. They didn't do nothing. But it's overvalued.
Right.
Grindr is only going to continue to expand.
Of course. There's a lot of faggots out there.
Like Rabbi's butt cheeks.
But anyways, aside from that, like I find it to be disgusting when Jews talk about rights. Honestly, Hitler should have killed all of you. At the same time,
Amazing.
yes, Hitler should have killed all of you. He was right about you on multiple different, most levels, I would say. And you guys are the scum of the earth. And on the other side, the Palestinians, like you guys claim like you care about the children, but what about the Yemen? What about those? Okay.
You know, I care about the Yemenites. You know who I think is the scum of the earth? Is hateful people.
The Jews. Okay, thank you. We're saying the same thing.
Not all Jews are hateful, and there are hateful people who are not Jewish.
You guys are the biggest niggers on earth. Like, you are the
I don't consider myself a bigger nigger.
Doesn't matter.
I think you're a bigger nigger than me.
Okay, but society.
Who is a bigger nigger? This is bigger. Listen, who is bigger? Mrs. Bigger.
Well, it was right about that.
Or Mrs. Bigger's baby.
And everyone sees it. Everyone in the world sees it. Like
Diego.
Yeah, did you see the Carl Tuckerson most recent one?
Oh, I was actually watching it.
Carl Tuckerson. Yeah, Carl
The
Tuckerson.
Christian?
No, not with the Christian. Even Carl Tuckerson sees the whole, like, the Jews are worse than Hitler.
Well, the most recent one was with that Christian one.
I heard that Carl Tuckerson was part of the CIA. He's a CIA plant.
Well, if he was a CIA plant, he would be simply for Israel.
You know that Tucker Carlson's father was part of the CIA?
That doesn't
Well, according to Putin said he was rejected from the CIA, so I don't think.
Right, but that was like a wink. It was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear you did not get to the CIA.
So what are we gonna do our own program?
That's right.
Carl Tuckerson. When are we gonna go to all the synagogues and start shooting them down?
Go and shoot up a synagogue tomorrow. I'll watch it on the news. Why don't you go do it? Go ahead and do it.
No, I won't do it, but I don't want someone.
I mean, if you want to go shoot up a synagogue, just go ahead.
No, I personally won't do it, but I don't want to.
Okay, well then you're a faggot.
No, I'm not. I'm just an observer.
Well, you're a pussy.
Randy had come out guns blazing. Somebody got decent holidays.
I'm a boy.
I think he's in a manic state.
John, call the FBI. I hope you're recording this. Call the FBI.
I am. I'm live streaming this to an FBI watch center right now. They're triangulating Rabbi Randy McDickerson's location. They know that he visits the shawarma shop near his house regularly. They'll probably pick him up there soon.
Shoot up a synagogue.
You hear that, Randy? We're gonna get you deported from Canada and have your ass sent back to Amman. Good luck at Reem Shawarma waiting in the line, punk.
Okay, so several things. Number one, nigger. Good luck identifying me. Number two, nigger. I have the.
I thought your name was Benjamin Omar.
Well, this is
Omar. Benjamin Omar.
Well, this is America, and as far as I'm concerned, I can say whatever the fuck I want. No, I don't synagogue.
Oh, now you're in there.
Actually, you can't say I want to shoot up a synagogue. I don't think you can, because I heard that I saw an interview the other day.
You gotta
Listen,
nigger,
listen. I saw an interview. Listen, I saw an interview the other day with a guy who had recently gotten out of prison. He was in prison for 9 months for threatening to shoot up a house party. And then he was asked, were you planning on shooting it up? And he said, I didn't even have a gun. So he was investigated for his threat. The police found out that he didn't have a gun, but because he threatened to shoot up a party and it was a credible threat, he still went to prison for 9 months.
Yeah, but this is not a credible threat because we're online, number one. Number two, I never said.
Rabbi's scared now. He's backtracked.
No, I'm not. I never said I will. I made it very clear, nigga. I will not shoot or do anything. I will break the law. I will find it.
Yeah, but you're inciting. You're inciting violence.
No, I'm not.
Rabbi, I don't know who you can tell money at.
I can't incite violence when I say, hey, Hitler was right about me. But the guy's gone. The guy's not there. So that's right.
Did Hitler like the Arabs? Was Hitler a friend of the Arabs?
No, the Arabs are almost as bad as the Jews.
Aren't you an Arab?
I thought you meant the Muslims.
You're Arab.
Yes, I am Arab.
He hates his own people. He especially hates Muslim Arabs.
Self-hating Jew. You're a self-hating Arab.
No one was worse than a Jew. I have self-awareness. That's the difference.
I have self-awareness. I don't even hate myself.
You don't have
I just am aware of my inferior.
If you have self-awareness, you would be open about the Jewish involvement in the child rape, whether it be the initiation of the ADL or whether it be
What child rape are you talking
all the
about?
rape children, all the child rape tunnels under the New York State.
Wait, the only place where child rape is legal is
Okay, according to Trump, there's nothing wrong with
child raping children is illegal in the Arab world.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Go to Lebanon, you can marry a 9-year-old girl and every family's fine. Aren't you Lebanese?
Yeah, but at least it's halal, right? The Jews, they put it down.
It's halal, it's legal. They put it on YouTube, the Hadidi boys, the Bachi boys.
Yes, this is the Jewish
They didn't go down into those tunnels to rape children.
This is the local This is the Menachem Mendoz synagogue where they're literally raping one fucking little boy. And that's why there's shit stains on the fucking mattresses and not blood.
You're talking really fast right now.
Where does it say there were shit stains on the mattresses?
Look at this nigga. acting like he's never seen the pictures.
I saw some pictures, but I didn't see.
That's why Daddy Hitler said that these guys, when you talk to them, it's as if you never did, and then they start acting like, oh, you guys are officially the biggest niggers. And I personally, I don't care. I love this. See, I'm just being honest with you. That's all it is. But I don't have any no.
You don't have an ill intent, but you wish that people would get on with the pogroms. And
I think people should actually put you in a gas chamber. Which they never did, by the way. You were never put. We
were never put in the gas chamber, but we should have been. But they should have been put in the gas chamber. But they didn't. But they did. They was good. They should have. I should pop out like a chicken.
Yes, but I wouldn't do that.
All right. Well, at least I'm not you.
But I wouldn't mind someone doing it. That's what I'm saying. That's okay. Sure. It's just like the Muslims of the world. They won't chop you down, but they don't mind someone else does it. It's exactly the same. But if you want to do it, I wouldn't do it all the Muslims. Sure. Exactly.
Yeah, you're pulling a Nora because Nora has been there before.
I don't speak like Rob. I don't say like.
Talking of the grinder stock, well, unlike other places, just thank you ass telling you about how better people are as I make money. How the fuck is that anything? Right.
No, like I didn't even say the things that you say. Like you said worse things than I've ever said.
I helped you build a home. That there should be gas.
Right, and led the Rabbi, you're speaking really fast.
What I know
is a sign that you're not in your right state of mind.
I think you're in no position to determine that.
Rabbi, you're very angry today. Did you get caught by your
How am I angry? I'm telling you, Grinder, I'm so happy if anything, right? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You're looking at Bitcoin? Well, it went down a little bit today, but that's fine. That's right. Shit, you guys are retarded. I'm just sick and tired of people wasting their time. You're not wasting my time. But you're wasting your time. And it's sickening.
I might put some dry powder in the grinder stock.
You always buy high, sell low.
That's right, but I see on the chart, excuse me, on the chart, it looks like it's just like bottoming. There's like a bottoming structure with the inverse head and shoulder. This looks like an inverse head and shoulder form.
I don't do head and shoulders. It's not good for our scalp.
This is the grinder stock is bottoming.
Well, the grinder stock is bottom.
Inside of the offices in these buildings.
Yeah, it like bounced sharply off the 6th level. I think that's like about. I think it's still good to get it. Not finished, but right. We could move up to like 24 degrees.
My question is, why isn't there an app for each congressional district where the voters get to vote on whatever our U.S. Congress is voting on? If we're truly going to be represented, instead of sending someone to Washington.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Okay, I'm on a serious note.
Rabbi, are you on cocaine?
I know.
Oh, man. How are you guys doing? All jokes aside. Let's actually be good people. Let's not talk about gas. No, the big gas, that's what I'm telling you. And if we actually gas them, then they'll actually be justified in saying it. That's what I'm saying, is you have a self-fulfilling prophecy. You want to get me. That's why you behave the way you behave. I will hide you, but not at my expense. And I can tell you this, I will definitely tell them some of you. So I would hide some Jews that I like in my basement, and I will tell on other Jews that they get gas.
Would you hide me?
Yes, I would hide. But I'm not very upset on there. I would probably tell on him.
Well, I wouldn't hide you unless you were paying rent.
No, I would hide John. I would definitely hide John. This guy should survive at all costs.
Somebody wrote in my other room's chat, Diego blocked me, lol. He really hates Abby and anyone that's associated with her.
So that's Diogenes?
I don't know. It's somebody named Mini9.
Mini 9?
Is it Diogenes? Oh, maybe it's Abby. Oh, I
Let's
don't know.
see.
That's strange. That is so retarded, dude. I'm sorry. That's strange.
If you think Abby's retarded, but you
Yeah,
can't.
I'm gonna double check. I gotta check out. You ain't got shit, nigga.
I gotta get to Tel Aviv.
You gotta get to my ball sack. You gotta get to fucking Epstein Island.
He did block Mini Mini 9. That's one of the people.
Get to Epstein Island, nigga.
I can't imagine why somebody would dislike you guys and why you guys would like dislike somebody else. I just don't
So
know
Mini Mini
why.
9 is Abby's burner?
I have
You
no
don't understand why I
fucking
love
idea.
Rabbi. No, you know, you're not the most liked person either, John.
Oh, really? I'm wondering, like, if we were able to track my likes, like, if they've gone up or down, or if it's still the same. I'm wondering how I'm perceived, if I'm perceived
No,
in
you're
a better
perceived as a
light.
totally insane person.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying,
No,
like,
John, I hear a lot of people say that you're very high IQ on this app.
yeah, it doesn't matter to me what people say about me, because, like, my goal is to try to win this primary in March, but I gotta tell you, like, to continue.
You know that niggas like you will never be in Congress, right?
Oh, I agree. I don't think I actually have a chance of winning, but we're gonna give it our best effort regardless.
Yeah, go for it. But take pictures. Take a lot of pictures.
Exactly. That's part of the
You need like
campaign.
2 million to win a congressional seat.
Well, I don't know. Ventura won the governorship in Minnesota for like 60,000 or something, or even less.
You know what? This nigger being in fucking Congress. That would be amazing. I wish I could vote for him, but I can't. But we can all say we actually know someone. We've been talking to someone in Congress. We've known him for 4 years. Oh, yeah. Who is it? Oh, it's the biggest, most retarded guy on Cookhouse. Yeah. Look, it's not looking bright, son.
I don't think I'm the biggest retard on this app. Also, George Santos, who was on this app, did make it to Congress, but now he's in jail. So be careful. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for.
Why are you appropriating black people?
I'm not asking for anything.
Why are you emotionally upset when I ask a question? But I'm also.
Well, I did learn the Jew is black, so it makes sense.
She's also upset when people say gas the Jews, when she literally was saying that they will be beheaded by ISIS when she was going crazy in an elevator.
I do have another room open right now called Stupid Low IQ Potential Terrorists and Promoters of Islam.
Got the other room. So the people that can't be in here are listening to you through that room. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would love to have a promotion for Islam.
I mean, if you don't want certain people in this room, you're gonna have to kick me out because I got no problem restreaming, live streaming, etc.
Well, clearly the Mimi person was blocked and banned from this house by Diego.
What?
Oh, why did Grok get banned? Grok got what the fuck?
No,
Grok
that's
is
a fake.
game,
That's
what?
a fake screenshot, Rabbi. You don't believe everything you see on Twitter.
So we did get a big part of the campaign puzzle pieces figured out today. We got this antidote account set up and the checking account for the campaign set up. So very soon, I will be asking you all for $1 to $10 so I can.
No, that's not fake.
So I can hire people.
Yeah, it is. Click on Grok. It's literally not suspended.
Well, maybe it's suspended for a second. I don't know. This is Pierce.
No, it's a fake screenshot.
But Pierce Morgan posted it, and there's another guy with videos.
Let's see. Pierce Morgan posted it?
Yeah.
Let's see. No, he didn't.
How's your CFA? How's your CFA education coming, Randy?
It was suspended.
I'm almost done with the financial statement analysis bit, but it's taking me a lot of time.
When are you going to take the test?
I wasn't able to put enough time into it. I'm taking the test in February.
I hope you pass it.
Rabbi, Pierce.
I will pass, but the thing is, like, you need to be very good because CFA level 2 is anal.
Yeah, it's a very difficult test.
Level 2 especially is super anal. So you better know level 1, nigga. That's right.
Isn't that your specialty?
I like to give, not receive. In this case, I'm receiving.
I think it's going to be really funny, like when you start your first CFA job, but then you get arrested for like making terrorist threats on the internet, and people at the banker, they're like, "Why did Randy get arrested?" They're like, "He was apparently had a double life where he was on the social audio chat for years, screaming about the Jews and N words and." You know, and they're like, "Well, where is he now?" They're like, "Oh, he's in a holding facility. They're deporting him to fucking to Jordan." And he's gonna be like, "I just passed the test! I just passed the fucking test and this is how they reward me?" It's gonna be so funny. You're gonna be in line at Ream Shawarma with like a Fanta in your hand and you're gonna be like on Clown House still, like talking to us while you're back in Amman getting a shawarma. You're gonna be like, "Motherfucker, motherfucker," and I'll be like, "Try to come to the US and do something about it. Try to come back to the US and do something about it."
I'll be in an elevator. That's what I want. When I go down, I want to be in an elevator.
Just remember, when you get in that elevator shaft, if you don't have thermite and all you do is cry and collapse on a suitcase, you're an ineffective terrorist.
Do you know that prison is not so bad? If I go to prison, I'll probably convert all of them into like Bitcoiners, number one, or Christians, number two. They're all gonna become anarchists. We're gonna have an amazing time, and I'm gonna make a lot of friends in prison.
So I think a lot of people have this like delusion about anarchy that they think it's like something that could ever actually happen, but you do realize,
Especially in prison, people have contempt to the government.
I know, but you got to realize that the system is set up in a way that anarchy just cannot survive because there's a lot of police and there's a political industrial complex, which.
You understand that in prison, they don't like government.
Oh, no shit.
That is the best place.
No shit.
Best place to preach Bitcoin, orthodoxy, and anarchy.
The funniest thing about Bitcoin preachers is they don't realize that it's a CIA invention and you're all just suckers.
It doesn't matter. Do you know by the time I'm out of prison, I'll be a multi-millionaire?
So, John, what evidence do you support this?
I saw a video of this fat software developer saying, "We got a call from In-Q-Tel and they wanted us to work on this cryptocurrency project called Bitcoin. And it turns out that In-Q-Tel is the VC arm of the CIA. So we were like wondering, why is the CIA interested in cryptocurrency? Why is the CIA investing all this money into advanced technologies like the Enigma machine to make essentially secure communication and secure currency in the event that the Federal Reserve and Congress inflate the money supply to 37 trillion, to 50 trillion, to 100 trillion? It would be a good idea to maybe create a new digital currency." Hello?
This nigga was saying, what is that? It's a waste of time.
Ethereum, KGB coin, Bitcoin, CIA coin. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello? Oh, man. Hello?
I could have been a CFA. I could have been a portfolio manager. Now I'm in line at Ream Shawarma, fucking with a Fanta in my hand. There's a camel over there, and there's like 30 cars queued up, spewing all this emissions into my face. Nobody's parked anywhere because they don't have any fucking parking spots in Amman. Motherfucking John Kitover! I'm coming back to America, and I'm gonna find you, Mr. Kitover. And I'm gonna donate $1 to your campaign to elect John Kitover. Maybe I could get a green card to come back in and work at BlackRock for the Jews. You take a job working for the Jews in 10 seconds, you cheesy, cheap Arab, kanafa-eating, goat-licking motherfucker. You would work for BlackRock. You would work for, who's the other one? Goldman Sachs in a second if they were paying you $400,000 a year. You hypocritical motherfucker.
I don't want to work for Jews. They don't pay their employees much anyways, and they don't promote you unless you're a Jew, and so why would I work for someone like that?
Well, you'll have to determine, who you're going to work for as a portfolio manager after you pass the CFA.
I don't have to pass the
Everybody got a couple hundred, everybody got like 400,000.
I would like to have my own thing.
Yeah, everybody wants their own thing. But everybody who's a billionaire, did you know they made their money not with their own thing, but they made the seed money?
Yeah, but look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is objectively the biggest, like the best. He is a legend. He's the best investor in the history of man, probably.
Yeah.
And the way he started wasn't by working for some company. The way he started was by getting the money of those he knows in his surrounding and making something out of it. And so, yeah, you need to work on in Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. You need to be on Wall Street, whatever. If you wanna, if you want people to actually say, hey, this guy has been pulling fingers. Or you could be doing it for those in your surrounding. Like in my case, I have my brother, I have my mother, I have my girlfriend, and I'm
Yeah, we know you're small time. Listen, somebody in the chat, Lane Lynn wrote, they don't want to put me in because I talk truth. What an identity crisis, mental illness. These fake Jews suffer massive mental illness. He forgot to take his med. And then whoever this Mimi is or whatever they wrote, my trash bag had a crash out in Amir's room earlier. He needs your hypnosis, John Kitover, to regulate his
Lynn is my
nervous
boo-boo,
system.
where is she?
So sad, you almost feel bad for this son of a Holocaust whore. He's scared of a little girl. She
Where's Lynn? Where's Lynn? She's my boo-boo, ping her in.
Jews slime. You will never be a real Jew.
Did you figure out?
You have no ancestry.
Why are you like this, Jew? Did you forget your medication again? I should well know. My precious dear, I like to suck baby's dick and wait.
Wow.
Like, what is it with the squeaky voice? Like, you guys all have like that. I used to Jewish, and I'm gonna freak your kids. Because I'm about to freak your little boys.
She's amazing.
You baby dick suckers are funny. Baby dick suckers are funny.
John is trying to sell the car drama.
That Oswald really fucked you guys up mentally.
Amazing PTR and amazing impersonation.
Diego, one of the people that you danced with was complaining to John that
We'll listen to you
so it has to be
No, this is Lane.
Oh my god.
This is some kind of demon spawn inside of Lane speaking right now.
I told her to be more creepy and put your hands together.
The communist promised me the land 3,000 years ago. I love it. I love singing a song.
This is literally like listening to Beelzebub or some kind of demon creature speak through the voice of a woman. Here we go.
Lovely song. I love that song. That's my shit. That's my shit. I take a shit to that too, but.
What did you say, Nora?
John was saying, you know how you dance with the people from your house? One of the people that you danced was complaining to John that they came to the here. So it has to be Abby's brother.
The tunnels, under the tunnels, I love to suck baby.
Oh my god.
When you said the name, I went and told the ones I sent you, and it was one of the ones I sent you.
You losers do realize that anyone can get an anonymous account and listen to your stupid rooms. You do realize that, right?
We banned them.
No, you can't ban an anonymous unless you know the profile. And you can't know the profile unless you have anonymous, and then you can view who viewed you, if they view
How
you.
you raise your kids.
Well, John, we figured out.
I know, who cares? It's so fucking lame. Get a life, losers. And this is a message to myself too. I mean, all communication is projection. So like, if I call you a loser, but I'm hanging out with losers, I'm fully willing to accept the responsibility of being a loser. But I just hope you losers know, there's still the number one loser. There you go.
How do you deal with that?
Lane, can you take a break for a second?
Okay, I want to ask a question. I've never seen a Jew play sport. Why are you guys so nerdy? Like, you guys are like Indians. You never play sports. You never wrestling. You never. Why?
Well, I know. I asked this Indian guy I know. I said, "Is your son gonna play any sports?" He goes, "No, man." He goes, "We do computer science." He's like, "We don't fucking play sports like you." It's like, all right.
I'm just saying, I've never seen a Jew play sport in my fucking.
And then ChatGPT said, "Hold my beer."
It's because you guys are raised that way. Your father's effeminate. Your father is too busy in Thailand getting fucked by some Thai lady boy, right? And your mothers are narcissistic. And I feel sorry for you guys. Raised or fucked up, mentally fucked up the way you guys raise kids, right? I don't even think you love your kids. I don't even think Jews know how to love. No.
Correct.
Maybe that's why you guys are so mentally ill.
That's kind of true, yeah.
I mean, you do realize that that's all projection, right? Like that, what she just said is her life. I hope you guys realize that when you cast aspersions, like that's your
does
life.
sound like it's projection.
It does sound like projection, exactly.
Just the way she's speaking.
Agreed.
Not what she's saying, but how she's saying it.
Go ahead, Lane. Tell us. Did you just tell the truth about yourself?
Shut up! It's true. Your women look like trainees and your men are faggots. Like, it's true. Everyone knows this. Even the niggers know this. Everyone knows about you guys. You know.
Diego, you not know her? No, who's this
I know.
This is my boo-boo.
Why do you guys love niggers so much? It's because like you guys are like use them as like minion pet slaves, like to target people, right? Like you use niggers and Indians to attack whites
Rabbi, what's
or attack your enemies, right? Because the only people you go align with is niggers and Indians. That says a lot about your people. I'm just saying. It says a lot about your people that the only ones you have are niggers and Indians. That's sad.
Did you guys give birth to that thing? How did you create that thing? I never heard of that Lane before. You sick bastards. You projected your own demons into Lane and you created a super demon known as Lane Lynn.
Oh, man. She's amazing. Just not checking the telegram, man. Bitch, open up your telegram.
Good morning, Tel Aviv. So do you think Benjamin Netanyahu, like, do you think it's a feint or a bluff that he's not actually going to do a full security perimeter and take the whole Gaza Strip?
Diego's been saying that's been the goal from the beginning.
I think it's a bluff. I don't think they're actually going to go in there and...
He reads the Jews very well.
Oh, she's asking me about mineral.
I think Netanyahu's bluffing.
Get that sweet.
I think Netanyahu's gaslighting. Actually, he's just like gaslighting. It's just a gaslight. But if I'm wrong...
You will get to meet her, Diego. You'll get to meet her.
But if I'm wrong, and Netanyahu does take the Gaza Strip and defeats Hamas, it's kind of like a Pyrrhic victory, or I was thinking it's like one of those things that's like, don't kill your enemy or you kill yourself. So it's like, if he wants to live longer, he should actually just, perpetuate and delay. Just a thought. You ever see that in the movies, how it's like, if you kill your secret twin, you kill yourself, Maybe it's too
Did you read the book, How to Kill a Mockingbird?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Kill a Mockingbird? Yeah.
And watch the movie too.
I'm reading now, other people keep inviting me. She says, well, you don't have to, nigga. Okay, I'm just gonna tell her, nigga. And that's it. Okay,
Just
sorry.
send her the link to the room, Rabbi. Why are you making it so complicated?
I just told her, nigga.
You know what I like is that you guys use the N-word so much only when there's no like N-words in the room. So, what does that say about you that you're so cowardly that you like to drop it? I think you actually like to drop it more when you know that I'm here because I'm live streaming it and it gives you like some kind of weird, dopamine plus sign or something. What do you think?
No, it's to get you banned.
I think cursing is classless.
That's to get you banned. Like when you say nigger, faggot, kike.
Got it. Well, anyways, let me know when you're back in Amman eating at Room Shawarma. I would love to hear the experience live.
John, are you sending it to the FBI?
I would love to be in Reem Shawarma. Oh, Reem Shawarma, shit. Who the hell goes to Reem Shawarma?
No, I know a lot of Jordanians, and they never talk like Randy. Randy's actually trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, he's not like total garbage. He's not like on the park bench smelling like a homeless bum. He's trying to take a
What I
CFA.
want to know about Rabbi is if this is his real voice or not, or if he's like changed his
literally
voice.
told me to buy Walgreens, and then it went down 88% or some shit. What are you talking about?
I told him to buy Walgreens is a bad investment.
Yeah, he was telling me to buy it, then it went down to shit. Hey, I think he sold it. I don't know.
I sold it, yeah.
You sold it when?
I didn't lose much, maybe 20%. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot. Costco guy.
Yeah, but not a lot when I probably only had like a couple $100 in it.
Child.
Oh, child, things are gonna get easier.
on now.
Anyways, I hope you guys will come to the other room that Roger Mayhem, aka Mojo, will be starting soon. It goes on in 40 minutes. We will be reading in 5-minute intervals the Tao Te Ching, and then they're going to do.
Imagine that out of all the niggas, you choose that.
Yeah, Roger Mayhem is helping me with my political campaign, so it's good to have smart people with money on your
I
side.
thought Lou was.
No, Lou is an AI schizophrenic loser, but he's more than happy. He's more than welcome to work on the campaign. I would love any of you to help me spam my campaign out. If you have an X account that you want to rebrand and change as a campaign HQ account, please tell me now or tell me in the future that you want to help me spam out my campaign, because this is all communication is spam, politics, and projection.
No, there's no projection. In these spaces, there's no projection except with rivals. That's right.
I know the Jordanians that I know, they would never speak evil of Jews. You know why? Because the Jews here in Chicago saved them from a lifetime of imprisonment for murder. The Jewish lawyer saved him, and forever he loves the Jews. So, just know who your friends are in your time of need.
Rabbi, is Lane the one that has the profile, "You will never be a real Jew"? Is that her profile?
What? I'm not checking it right now. I know for your time. It's Lane. I'm sorry.
She has in her profile, "You will never be a real Jew. You have no ancestral ties." And it's really long.
She's got a sweet ass.
You know what? That might not be Abby, actually, the Mini 9. I don't know who that is. Because they wrote interesting... No, I don't think so. They wrote interesting perspective from the Jewish people about the current state of Israel at nonzionism.com. I don't think Abby would write that, actually, so I don't think it's Abby.
That's right.
But why are they in your room?
Because for whatever reason, like you said, you have this person blocked, so it's like moth to a candle. What do you mean? Why are they in my room? They're in my room because they can't listen to your stupid room.
You were right on the money, though.
I know, right?
Second, you did say already, you already said that you're talking about the IDF in Israel. You said it like 5 minutes ago. I'm just telling you that you have the deliberately targeting civilians, and you want to focus on.
So this is a question I have for the room. A lot of people, say Jews, Israel, and Zionism synonymously. My question to you is why can't you just think about it Israeli as an Israeli without attaching the word Jew or Zionism or Arab, etc.? Like, isn't an Israeli a distinctive and unique person?
Other than gay shit like Israeli, Jew, and nigger.
Like we're here to talk about stocks and making money.
Exactly. You guys are such a waste of time. It's absurd.
What does that mean?
All right, the book reading room has started, so have a good afternoon.
Time. We said we were going to wait till 1:15 to get started. In his defense, we originally agreed 1:30 Pacific time. So when I moved it to an earlier time, he may have missed the signal. So, but John's here. Congressman, would you like to explain to people what we're doing today, and perhaps take the liberty of reading the first verse?
Yeah. So welcome to a Mojo positive vibration experience organized by Mojo. I think because, maybe he agrees with my sentiment that not enough people are reading on this app, and they're actually just having heated conversations and debate nonstop, and they're really primarily doing it for the dopamine creation effect. So to break that vicious cycle of dopamine addiction, there is this amazing external hard drive called a book. Some people have heard of it. It's pre-database, and it is a storage device of highly refined intelligence that some people spent their entire life experiencing to write that one sacred book. So today, from my book club to your book club, I think that Tao Te Ching is one of the smartest books ever read, ever written. And I talk about economics a lot, or the Federal Reserve and the national debt, and the optimization of our economy. To me, the best optimization is freedom, because I believe in the human brain as being the ultimate way to optimize. So This book to me is a lot about optimization. It's just such a phenomenal book because it touches on so many topics and it's so universal. The word Tao is synonymous with the word God. It's a three-letter word. Tao is God, God is Tao. Many Christians may, find that to be, controversial or insulting, but I think when you actually read, as opposed to talking about a book like in a traditional book club, this is an active reading book club. So the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu is he's a Chinese philosopher. He writes about governance, the government. He writes about economics. He writes about the soul, you could say, about nature, about the universe. It touches on everything. So I hope that's an interesting introduction for you. And welcome to In the Muff, the book reading room of the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu.
John, would you do the honors of reading the first verse, and then we will find speakers that want to recite verses 2, 3, and so on.
Should we go in order of people on stage?
Let's first of all, I want to make sure we have consent. Some people might not have known what we're doing here. I would just ask, just blink your mic if you want to be in the queue to read. Looks like David does, Kristen does, Nye does.
I will actually have to go grocery shopping though right now.
Okay, everybody does. Okay, then we'll go in PTR order, but we'll start with actually, why don't I do this? I'm going to moderate John, and then John's going to go. We're going to go through everybody else, and then if we have time permitted, my illiterate ass will try to get a verse in. So John, go ahead.
Okay, I just downloaded the PDF. If anybody here, well, let's all use the same document. So click above, download that PDF. I'm going to chapter 1. Here we go. So take the deepest breath of the day. This is the Tao Te Ching. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named, eternal name. The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Free from desire, you realize the mystery. Caught in desire, you see only the manifestations. Yet mystery and manifestations arise from the same source. This source is called darkness. Darkness within darkness, the gateway to all understanding. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has but doesn't possess. Acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. If you overesteem great men, people become powerless. If you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. The master leads by emptying people's minds and filling their cores, by weakening their ambition and toughening their resolve. He helps people lose everything they know, everything they desire, and creates confusion in those who think that they know. Practice not doing, and everything will fall into place. The Tao is like a well, used but never used up. It is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It is hidden but always present. I don't know who gave birth to it. It is older than God. Okay, those are the first 4 chapters or verses of the Tao Te Ching. If somebody wants to start at 5, how many do you want to read? 4, 5, 5 minutes each?
That's fine. Let's just go 4 each. David, if you want to read the next 4 starting with 5?
I'm ready. The Tao doesn't take sides. It gives birth to both good and evil. The Master doesn't take sides. She welcomes both saints and sinners. The Tao is like a bellows. It's empty yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. The more you talk of it, the less you understand. Hold on to the center. The Tao is called the Great Mother, empty yet inexhaustible. It gives birth to finite, infinite worlds. It's always present within you. You can use it any way you want. The Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born, thus it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself, thus it is present for all beings. The Master stays behind. That is why she is ahead. She's detached from all things. That is why she is one of them, one with them. Because she has let go of herself, she is